You know, it was the government that pushed crack in our community. They pushed drugs and guns in our community. We don't own those stores that make guns. How did guns get in our community?
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
What happened to the children of Israel, that's who Jerusalem is. What happened to them, nobody else could relate to it. Now he's going to tell you where you could find out what would happen to them in order for you to identify who they are. Watch this, continue reading.
Yes, sir. Verse 13, as it is written in the law of Moses.
So if you know the Bible, the first 5 books are called the books of Moses. Today they call it the Torah. So the first 5 books, what's written there, would only happen to the children of Israel. And listen to what it says.
All this evil is come upon us, yet made we not our prayer before the Lord our God.
So even though all these bad things happened to us, we still didn't go to God to make it right with him. So now, remember, it's in the first 5 books, right? So now we're going to go to it. Watch this. Chapter 28, read verse 15.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
And now it says, it shall come to pass. The things you don't know about your ancestors, they were called seers in the Bible. What does a seer do? 1 Samuel 99. What do a seer do, Armando? If I said for to go see a seer, what would a seer do? Predict the future. Because remember, they were called prophets. A prophet is just a new term because prior they used to call them seers. Because your ancestors told you of the future. Watch this, read.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 9, verse 9. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, thus he spake, come and let us go to the seer.
So when they wanted to know what God wanted to tell us, let's go to the seer. Because watch this.
For he that is now called a prophet
today that we call prophets, read,
was before time called a seer.
You follow? Because they predicted the future. God told them what would happen in the future. So when we're reading here, read it again.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
We're hearing a what? A future prophecy. But when it came to pass, it became history. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So if we didn't want to listen to God, right?
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes.
A commandment of God is that we're supposed to marry all women. So we breaking that, right? Because y'all supposed to be what? Married. Y'all doing the do? Y'all supposed to be married. God says if you entice a maid and you sleep with her, you have to marry her. But what we men tend to do? We sleep with them, knock them up, and what? Leave. Ain't that what they always talk about, black and brown people? Oh, they never there for their kids. Because we knock up our women and then we never marry them when we leave. Read.
Voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses.
What will happen?
That all these curses.
Armando, curses are good or bad things. So God says bad things would happen to us if we didn't want to keep God's commandments. Watch this, read.
Curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
So Armando, in every city you travel, you been outside of Texas? You travel sis? All right, so y'all been travel. When you leave Texas and you go to other cities, what cities do you see the Hispanics and the blacks in? Are they in their cities? Are they blessed or their cities look cursed?
It looks horrible.
It looks horrible.
Everybody's kind of camped in like a.
What do they normally call our neighborhoods?
The ghetto.
They call it the ghetto. Our ghettos usually suburbs.
It's the ghetto.
It's the ghetto.
Come on.
Crack pipe, dead bodies, bomb. The hallway smell like piss. Nickel bags on the floor, Dutch bags on the floor. You follow? Well, all our cities, are they blessed or are they cursed? They're cursed. Now watch this, read.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
When our ancestors were in the fields, when the fields we was working in, were they blessed or were they cursed? Mexican? Were the Mexican people ever slaves?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
At some time.
At some time. You know when the slavery of the Hispanics started? 1492.
Right.
You know when the blacks were brought here? 1619. Almost 200 years after. So who was slaves first over here? Do y'all ever watch movies about that? Normally, when you see slaves, who you normally see? The blacks. Why would they not connect the two? Because if we find out we're actually relatives, that's gonna be a problem.
Right.
If the blacks and brown come together, which we did during the civil rights movement, you had the Chicano movement, you had the AIM movement, you had the Black Panthers, you had the Brown Berets. When we came together, we was a force to be reckoned with. But guess what they did? They divided us, they gave us the women assistance, they took the black man out of the home, and guess what happened? They gave us drugs, and what? Pushed guns in our community. Abortion clinics, liquor stores. Right? Because when the crack epidemic happened, whoo, it destroyed us. You see how Cali is? Y'all seen Snowfall? You know it was the government that pushed crack in our community. They pushed drugs and guns in our community. We don't own those stores that make guns. How did guns get in our community? So you remember they said, the FBI said the greatest threat to America is black unity. Don't get it mistaken. Mexicans are black.
Right.
You're considered Negroes. Hey, give me the history book.
You got him in spot, Negro.
No, not that one. We're gonna get that one next. About the slave markets. How did the Mexican people appear in the slave markets? Oh, watch this. Read, no, not Jeremiah first. 28, read verse 30.
Yes, sir.
Because this would happen when the conquistadors landed on Mexico. Hernan Cortez, the Spaniards. Did y'all say hola when they said hola to y'all? Were y'all speaking Spanish prior to the conquistadors?
Spaniards are white.
Correct. They're Caucasian. So prior to you guys becoming light skinned, what color were the Negro? I almost gave it. All praises, the Aztec people, what color were they? They were brown and black. They were dark skinned people. Let me see. Yep, that book right there. Watch this, right? This is a Revealing America's Dark Skin Past, Volume 2.
That's a new one.
Watch this. People of America. Now I want you to see. You see this area right here? Seville area? Seville? Look over here. Where you at? Where's this located at? Exactly where is this at? This is where? Spain. This is Spain. Now watch this. In any case between the years of 1492 and 1501, at least 3,000 Native Americans were known to be shipped to Europe, with the likely total being possibly double that. Most were sent to Seville area, where they seemed to show up in the slave markets as Negroes. What most people don't realize is Negro was a terminology that was used to describe the indigenous people of the Americas.
Wow.
So when you read Negro, don't get it mistaken just for black people.
Come on.
It's talking about Hispanics as well.
Come on.
Because remember, we came in 1619. That word Negro was used for who first?
Wow.
You follow?
Teach.
So when you read Negro Negro means what? Black. Guess who were the first people being called black?
We were still considered color.
You follow? So people try to separate us by skin color. It's not about skin color. It's about who your father is.
Right.
You make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Watch this. Deuteronomy 28 verse 30. Because it says, cursed shall you be in the city, cursed shall you be in the field. Today, the Mexican people, what type of jobs do they work? They cut the grass, they clean the toilets, they in the back of the kitchen. Black people, we're in the same places as them. So we're in the same condition as you are. Because we make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Now what else happened in slavery? What else happened to our ancestors? Let's see if this happened. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife.
We were married to our women, right? What happened when we were married to our women in slavery? What happened to them?
Separated them?
Okay, what else happened? What happened in slavery to our wives? Do anybody know what happened to the slave's wife in slavery?
They got you.
They got what?
They got you.
They got used, raped. Let's see if that's in the Bible. Read.
Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her.
Read.
Thou shalt build an house,
We built up San Antonio. Read.
and thou shalt not dwell therein.
Do y'all dwell in the skyscrapers y'all build?
That hotel just got built.
That hotel was just built. You think Mexicans dwelling in there? The ones that built it? Where you think they go back to? The ghetto? There's some people middle class, they probably got their own home, but normally their home is where? In the ghetto? It's not saying all of us live like that. Majority of us still go back to the ghetto. Watch this, read on.
Thou shalt plant a vineyard.
I'm from the tribe of Levi, so-called Haitian. When we came to America, we was picking beans. Guess who was in the bean field with us? The Mexicans, the Panamanians, the Guatemalans. They were in the bean field picking beans right along with us. Because that's how we pay rent. My mom ain't know no English. My dad ain't know no English. They couldn't get jobs. So they had to go pick beans to pay rent. Read.
And shalt not gather the grapes thereof.
So when we plant the vineyard and we gathered it, did we make money off of that? For every basket you filled was about $5. We didn't gather that. After it was clean, the little pick you could pick up and take home, that's what you gathered. But the resources of all of that, the income of all of it, we didn't get it. Read.
Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes.
The ox, right? The buffaloes. What happened to the buffaloes? They were damn near extinct, right? The Gadites. They took away all their buffalo. They were just shooting them because they knew the Native Americans used the buffalo for clothing, for food, for fuel. Now watch this. How did the Mexican people get back to Spain? How did they get over here? How did the black people get over here? What type of transportation did they use? They used ships back then, right? Do you think that's documented in the Bible? Read Deuteronomy 28. This is where the curses are at. Verse 68.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
God says he's going to bring the Mexican people, the Puerto Ricans, the Cubans, the blacks back into Egypt again. When Israel was in Egypt, what was their condition in Egypt? What were their jobs in Egypt? When Moses said, let my people go, what were the people's jobs in Egypt? They were building pyramids. Were they building it freely?
No.
Were they forced? Were you guys forced to build America? Were the Mexicans forced to build Mexico City? Y'all don't know y'all history.
I don't know the history.
Hernan Cortez forced y'all to build Mexico City. He burnt down his ship so that way nobody could, or you do mutiny, and he forced y'all into slavery. If y'all didn't bring enough gold back, your hands were cut. If you didn't bring enough gold, they took your wife, they took your kid. Sometimes they were hanging. Watch this, read that.
Exodus chapter 20 verse 2. I'm the Lord thy God which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
What does the word bondage mean, Armando?
Bondage?
Yes.
Hold down, like hold on to.
Yeah, held on to. If you're held on to, are you free to move however you want? So you're a what?
Slave.
You're a slave.
Right.
So God says you're gonna go back into Egypt again. So whenever you hear the word Egypt, you're going back into what? Slavery. So go back to 68.
Yes, sir. Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So God says you're gonna go back into what again? You're going back into Egypt again. Egypt means what?
Slavery.
So you're going back into slavery again. Read.
Again with ships.
So this isn't a curse that would only happen to the children of Israel. So God says you will go into slavery again with ships. Watch this. We're going to come right back to this verse. We're going to read 4 verses above that. Read it.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
Where did those slave ships go to, Armando? Everywhere. They went everywhere. God says, I'm going to scatter you among all people. Watch this.
from the one end of the earth,
This is one end of the earth, right? Watch this.
even unto the other.
Did that happen to the Mexican people? When they take it from one side of the earth to the other? When the blacks take it from one side of the earth to the other? That makes them a child of Israel. Because watch this, read.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
It says, there you shall serve another God. Watch this. Who's this?
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Who's this?
Come on.
Come on now, don't be scared now. Who's this?
The whitewashed version of Jesus.
And she says the white. Is this another God? Right. Is this a fake God? Because the Bible says, read it again.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
So God says, our forefathers didn't know no white Jesus.
Right.
Because in the Bible, Jesus is a black man.
Right.
The people of the Bible are black.
Teach.
The Mexicans were originally what? Black. They were considered to be what people? Negro people.
Right.
So God says, you'll be taken from one side of the earth to the other, and there you shall serve another what? So who's this? Armando. Don't be scared to say it, Armando. You probably got a Jesus piece on that neck right now. Who's that? Who's that, Armando?
Good question.
Be honest, why you can't say it? It's like if you say it, you're gonna get in trouble. Like lightning gonna strike you down.
They said it's
Hold on, let me help you out, Armando. Let me help you out, Armando. That's not Jesus.
Right.
This image destroyed you. That's why when you look at it, right now if you close your eyes and you pray, that's what comes up in your head.
Right.
That's not your God.
Right.
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.